Welcome to the MLMsuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the number one mind in network marketing, the MLM prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
Hey guys, I hope you've had a great week. This is Dale Calvert. I would like to welcome you to this session of the MLMsuccess.com podcast. The title of this session is the Network Marketing Team Building Action Paradox. The network marketing team building action. It takes action to build teams. But what's the paradox? Over the past few months, I've had some major paradigm shifts relating to taking action and building teams. And they've been extremely thought-provoking for me. And I hope you find them valuable and useful on your network marketing team building journey. When we're done with this session, I hope you'll have a clear, honest snapshot of yourself as it relates to your current ability to take consistent action. Notice I didn't say get consistent results. Take consistent action, and you will use this honest snapshot to take your business to the next level and commit to not staying wherever you are right now, unless, of course, you're where you want to be. However, there's a really good chance that if you were not interested in growth and progressing, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. Throughout my team building career, one concept that has been proven to me over and over by myself and multiple other people that we've worked with is a quote that I coined, way back in the 80s. And that quote is, consistent effort doesn't always produce consistent results, but it always produces success. It always creates success. It's a foregone wisdom of the ages principle that if you want success in any aspect of life, you must muster up an above average ability to persist and take action. We've all heard that the action takers are the money makers, and that's true, but this applies in all aspects of life, not just in our finances. If you want to have a wonderful family relationship, friendships, health, so on and so forth, then above average action is required. Thinking about push-ups, thinking about doing some push-ups provides your body no value. Thinking about it provides no value. To not accept that, or just to think that, well, because of this, then I'm entitled to success in that. Because of this, then I'm entitled to success in that, is naive. And over time, it creates irrational behavior, which we're going to really talk about a lot at the end of this particular session. So what I want to try to do is just break team building action into three distinct phases. So you can kind of say, okay, well, this is where I am right now. This is where I need to be. This is where I'm headed. This is where I'm going. This is what I can expect. So 3 distinct phases. The first phase we're just going to call biting the bullet. Biting the bullet. Sometimes it's necessary for a person to do a thing that is either painful or objectionable or not politically correct, but it has to be carried out. Sometimes that's just the way life is. If that person forces themselves to get on with it and get on with the task at hand, then they're commonly said to be biting the bullet. This is an idea that was thought to have derived from battlefield surgeries when amputations and medieval medical procedures were done without any kind of anesthetic. So just to distract the patients from the pain, a bullet was placed in their mouth for them to bite down on. Sometimes they would use sticks or leather or whatever, but lead bullets were all over the battlefield, and they were pliable, so they could bite down and the patient's teeth wouldn't just break out. So, we've also heard terms like they have a stiff upper lip, and that's, an old saying that grew out of Victorian Britain, and it was kind of used to display a person that had courage or fortitude. In modern times, some of you have heard me talk about you need the skin of a rhino skin. And this comes from a very popular book years ago that many of you that we've worked with over the years, I would say virtually everybody that we've worked with over the years has read the book called Rhinoceros Success. Some of you have seen that we have rhinoceros statues along with a ton of eagles in our offices. And I would speak at events. A lot of times people would present me with a rhino because it's something I talked about a whole lot back in the day. Don't talk about as much today. That book is hard to find. You can't hardly find it, so that's probably why I don't talk about it as much. But if you ever do get a chance to find it on Amazon or eBay somewhere, it's out of print. It's called Rhinoceros Success. It's definitely should be part of your library. But I understand, as you understand, it's human nature to want to accomplish as much as we possibly can with the least amount of change and work as possible. That's just kind of human nature, unfortunately. But what's been going on is, you all well know, unscrupulous marketers understand that they understand this at a very high level. And there's a lot of big name gurus in the opportunity market that routinely make outlandish claims that every logical thinking person knows is outlandish and really can only be described as just a blatant lie. But for some reason, it's become acceptable. So most network marketers, most people that sign up to become a distributor for XYZ company never get through the bite the bullet phase. They never get through the bite the bullet phase. For me, I think I started to understand some things probably a year in, maybe a year and a half in, but it took 3 years for me to really break out and get through the bite the bullet stage. And again, you're talking about a 20-year-old snot-nosed kid whose upline quit 2 weeks after I joined. My sponsor quit 2 weeks after I joined. I didn't even know who my upline was when I started. So I don't think very few people have to start with those kind of odds against them. But today, network marketing has become such a social club that I'm sincerely shocked how many people have been around the industry for years, and never even attempted to put the bullet between their teeth, much less bite the bullet. And it's not just in the network marketing business model, in this niche, it's in every industry where someone is attempting to get off the hamster wheel, out of the rat race. that they never bite the bullet and get through it. And again, it's in every entrepreneurial endeavor. As human beings, we are programmed through our DNA from the time we were born that when we get uncomfortable, fight, flight, or freeze, when we encounter situations that are outside of our normal, monotonous daily routines. And again, I don't care what a person's trying to do. If they're entering the real estate industry for the first time, they've been to school, they got their education, they got their license, and now they got to go into the marketplace and produce results. They got to bite the bullet. Insurance sales, car sales, most all small business owners never bite the bullet and embrace the persistence and the grind, and therefore 90% of small businesses fail. When you step back and look at this, it's not hard to figure out. Persistence is important, guys. You know, the definition of persistence is firm or obstinate, continuous in a firm or obstinate, continuous in a course of action in spite of difficulty and opposition. Firm, obstinate, continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. That's persistence. You know, and what happens a lot of times now in the industry, as we've seen recently, you know, you've got a jealous reporter where they're seeing the obnoxious income some people are making in this industry, and they're trying to make a name for themselves on the news or on some expose, and reporters and naysayers, you know, want to make the failure rate about the network marketing business model simply because as a business model, we make it so easy for them to do so. We put a big target on our back. We make it very easy for the naysayers to share their opinions. But that's really not the point. The failure rate is the failure rate. And it has nothing to do with network marketing or any other business model. It's the fact that habitual people that have been in a daily routine are trying to break out of a routine, get away from the treadmill and break out of the rat race, and that's not easy to do. That's the bottom line. And so the failure rate, it has nothing to do with what this podcast is about. It comes down to, are you going to rise above the norm and achieve your full upside potential with the network marketing business model? Are you or are you not? And bottom line, guys, it is your choice. It is your choice, because if you have the ability and the intelligence to log on to this podcast by yourself, then you can, I believe that whatever your income level is right now, that you can double it. You can double it with this business model. And if you persist, which most people don't, but if you do, I believe you can make 10 times what you're currently earning. So if you're making $30,000 a year, I believe that within 3 to 5 years, part-time, doing the right things with this profession, you can make $60,000 a year part-time. I believe that. I've watched too many people do it. I've worked with too many people that have done it. And over time, that can increase to $300,000, 10 times whatever you're earning right now. I just believe those numbers can be achieved. I'm not saying you're going to make millions of dollars a month. There's too many factors that play into that. But I am saying that the average person with above average desire that's teachable and has the right mentorship and sequentially systematically decides to learn how to build this business, they can do it, and it's their choice. It's much easier to spend evenings unwinding in front of the electronic income reducers. I used to say electronic income reducer being the TV set, but now we have multiple electronic income reducers We got TVs and tablets and computers and laptops and so on and so cell phones and so on and so forth. And it's much easier to spend evenings just unwinding. I've had a long day, Dale. I worked really hard. I had to work overtime today. And it's easier just to spend time in the evenings just unwinding in front of electronic income reducers than it is to persist in the activities that ultimately lead to success. Always has been that way. Always will be this way. So people start watching cat videos on YouTube before they know it. It's several hours have passed. And then they kind of get back engaged with reality and they think, well, what have I accomplished? And listen, guys, I'm talking about this from experience. From experience. My first year, it was hard for me to turn off the TV set and make those uncomfortable phone calls. It was hard. It was extremely difficult. It was not in my comfort zone. But, I got to a point where I put my 20 reasons, my goals, on the screen of my TV set. And the only time they ever came down was when the University of Kentucky was playing basketball. But other than that, it's like, Dale, do you want what's on this list? Do you want these reasons, or do you want to watch Gilligan's Island or whatever? So, again, it kind of is what it is. The disciplines are the disciplines. Even more deceiving today than ever before is we spend time listening to a podcast or watching personal development gurus on Netflix. And then what we do is we're creating the mental deception that we've done something in these prime hours when we could be creating contacts or following up, during prime time, that we've actually done something to help us in our business. Yes, there's a time and a place for gathering knowledge, but knowledge without action leads to self-delusion. I see this more now than at any other time in history because as society, we have more access to great information than ever before. And again, guys, I'm not trying to upset you, but I'm just trying to help you get real. We all have to get real. And I've said many times over the last year or so that I believe moving forward that focus is one of the most important entrepreneurial traits moving forward. I sincerely believe if you don't know about you need to really understand this concept. I believe in a concept called just-in-time learning. I'm not sure. I think I might even done a podcast on it at some point. But my experience has proven to me that great network marketing leaders are not born. They learn the business sequentially and systematically. They don't focus on learning how to spell a word until they've learned their ABCs. Did you follow that? And I talk about this whole concept of just-in-time learning. I did find that article. Let me find that for you. There's, as far as sequentially, systematically, I've talked about this multiple times, but there's a free training webinar. It's at MLMhelp.com/core. MLMhelp.com/core. And then the article on just-in-time learning, if you have not read that, if you don't understand in depth what I'm talking about, when I say just-in-time learning, I cannot recommend this article enough. Please listen to the rest of this podcast, but don't forget this article. We'll put it in the show notes for you, but I'll go ahead and give it to you. It's at MLMhelp.com/2018 final. 2018, the numeral, and then F, lowercase final. So the entrepreneurial markets are filled with mentorless people that are trying to learn algebra and they've not learned basic addition yet. Mentorless people. It's unbelievable to me. The blind leading the blind applies more in today's network marketing and make money online, quote unquote, environment than at any time in the history. At any time in history. So I 100% understand how the blind leading the blind, we got to this point in the internet marketing, make money online world. I get that. But how and why did this happen? How could it have ever happened to the network marketing profession? It just, it bothers me at a level that it shouldn't. And because I was there when it happened, I saw the shift and I saw it happening. And it's something we talk about in multiple podcasts and articles, so I'm not going to rehash all that here. But again, I've been talking about it for years. But if you really want deep answers into this, how did this shift happen in network marketing? When did it happen? Was it as good as people? I think it's phenomenal now, Dale, but people talk about how phenomenal it was. And you get that. If you want deep insights, you will get them here. MLM scam, the numeral 2.com. There's a huge course there. It's free. MLM scam, the numeral 2.com. It's free. It'll give you insights into the state of the network marketing business model that you simply will not find anywhere else because others simply haven't thought about it, never lived it, don't know, don't care, or don't have the guts to share. I'm not sure why others aren't as horrified as I am regarding the fact that most people get to $10,000 a month. They're gone in 5 years. I don't understand, and I'm not going to try to understand anymore. It is what it is. But I know some of you, it's important, and I respect that, many of you that listen to this podcast. But what's going on within the network marketing business model or your particular company, it just is what it is. So here's the bottom line. If in 2 years network marketing was gone, but over the next 2 years you are biting the bullet and focused, you're going to be a better person, be a better entrepreneur, have a better understanding of people in 2 years. And the time you spend doing the right things is going to pay great dividends for you in your lifetime. Again, this is something else I've talked about many times and I've witnessed many, many times. The bottom line is what's going on in the industry or what's going on in your company has very little to do with your ability and desire or lack thereof to bite the bullet and learn the skill sets and the mindsets that are required for you to maximize your upside potential within the network marketing business model. You can embrace concepts like expanding your comfort zone, mindset development, self-talk, personal responsibility, time management, programming your mind for success, the whirlpool, and the list goes on and on. You can embrace these concepts and ideas and be one of the few that break through and achieve massive success. Or you can hang out with your besties on Facebook waiting for your leader to give you a shout out. And you can attend every conference with your stack of business cards, hand out to everybody at the conference that say you're an entrepreneur and take a bunch of selfies and call yourself an entrepreneur or network marketing business owner or leader or founder or whatever makes you feel good. Or you can bite the bullet and get real with yourself and your future in this profession. And honestly, guys, individually, wherever you are in the world, I want what's best for you, but I don't have a dog in the hunt. I sincerely don't. I love this profession. I am beyond thankful for what it meant to me in my life and it continues to me. But I absolutely despise what the network marketing business model has become. And I don't pull any punches regarding that. I don't. So it's your choice. It's the best personal development program in the world. But grinding with mental toughness is just a wisdom of the ages law that network marketing companies, leaders, politicians, and many others want to act like doesn't exist. It blows my mind. Grinding and mental toughness is just a wisdom of the ages law that network marketing companies, leaders, politicians, and many others don't even want to accept exist. And look, if you weren't born with it, that's okay. A lot of people weren't. But it's not about you having the same grind and mental toughness as somebody else. It's about you maximizing at your best ability. That's what it's always been about. But see, we live in a society where all these thumbsuckers, they didn't get to play athletics because they weren't athletic, but they had other gifts. And their parents should have been encouraging them in their other gifts. But most parents don't, because most parents, they didn't get to play, so my kid's going to play soccer, and most parents are living their life through their kids. And again, I don't want to go down this road because I really could. I have at times, you all know, and many of the articles that we've rewritten on MLM help in the last 15 years. But, that's kind of the society in which we live, and it's like people don't want to admit that the fact that, it takes grinding and hard work to move forward in life. It's like, a year or so ago, everybody's griping and complaining about minimum wage. It blows my mind. We need to make $15 an hour. How do you expect anybody to live on less than $15 an hour? I don't expect you to stay on minimum wage. Minimum wage was designed for teenagers that needed to make part-time income. It wasn't designed for somebody to go to work at a company and stay at minimum wage. Your income is in direct proportion to the value that you provide to the company, to the market that you serve. That's a law. That's just what we should be talking about and teaching people, and not, trying to create boycotts because we can't live on minimum wage. Well, of course you can't, but why stay there? Why stay there? It drives me crazy. Are you kidding me? That's how you really think that you're going to be spending 30 or 40 years somewhere making minimum wage, that you have no ambition at all or no confidence to move up? Is that really where you're coming from? And oh, by the way, most people worrying about minimum wage, their jobs will be eliminated by robots and artificial intelligence a lot quicker than most people think. So we got to get real, guys, with the right message to our teams, to this industry. Real leaders love people enough to tell them what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. It's easy to be a self-proclaimed guru or politician today. All you have to do is tell the masses what they want to hear. And the sheep blindly follow false shepherds, never stopping to understand history and how the path that they're leading you down has always led to destruction. I mean, don't they teach about the Roman Empire in history class anymore? I mean, really, don't they? I don't know. I don't know. They probably don't. They took the Ten Commandments and Pledge of Allegiance out of school because of loudmouth special interest groups. And now the Ten Commandments end up hanging in prison cells all over the United States. It's just ironic. When you don't internalize wisdom of the ages principles, it's highly likely that you end up someplace you had never intended on being. The network marketing business model has become a social club that's encouraging people to all hold hands, sing kumbaya because we have a better way. And you know what? That doesn't mean diddly if you don't have people on your team and in society that are willing to bite the bullet, work the business consistently with an attitude of expectation and success. Consistent effort and persistence is a law. You can embrace it, you can discard it, you can foo-foo it, you can say, I'm going to show you how to get rich, and all you have to do is do this, and you're going to have so many people joining your team that your company's going to demand that you speak at the next conference to reveal your secrets, and people just buy it, hook, line, and sinker. Buy it. Just foo-foo dust. But the first thing that you have to understand is consistent effort and persistence is a law. It's a law of success. And you have to bite the bullet. Estee Lauder, was it Estee Lauder? I think it was. Yeah, Estee Lauder said, when I thought I couldn't go on, I forced myself to keep going. My success is based on persistence, not luck. Bill Bradley said, ambition is the path to success. And see, I think that's an issue too. I think a lot of people have no ambition. They were raised in environments with people with no ambition. So if you're listening, you say, well, Dale, I'm not a very ambitious person, then you got to hang around those that are. You become what you're around. You become what you're around. And again, I understand some people, it was just in their DNA for whatever reason, or something happened in their childhood that developed that I will not be denied mentality. But there's some people that their ambition is not at the level that it should be. But Senator Bill Bradley said ambition is the path to success. However, persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. I love that. I love this quote as well. He said, I failed over and over and over again in my life. That is why I succeed. And some of you know who said that, the great number 23, Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls. I failed over and over and over again in my life. That is why I succeed. The dude on our money, on our $5 bill, Ben Franklin, is he on the 5? I think he is. He said, energy and persistence conquer all things. You have to have some passion behind your persistence. And then one of my favorite quotes is President Calvert Coolidge. He said, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. And just as a side note, if he said that today, CNN would be wanting to run him out of office because he said men instead of men and women. Again, it's just fascinating to me. Of course, he was talking about people. Of course, he was. Anyway, talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Calvert Coolidge. Man, that's truth is truth. Can you imagine the president today saying, well, I guess there's a few that would say something like that. But, that education's not the answer. Education will not. The world's full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Truth is truth, guys. Calvert Coolidge. So phase 1 of the 3 phases is you have to accept the law and understand the pain that can be overcome because new brain cell patterns are developed. But the pain of biting the bullet, and you got to be willing to bite the bullet. If you're not willing to bite the bullet, network marketing is a great place to hang out if you just want to hang around cool people and have a cool hobby. But don't think and don't beat yourself up. Don't just enjoy it. Enjoy every minute of it. But see, the people that are listening to this podcast, you want more than that, or you wouldn't be listening to podcasts. You would be watching TV or cat videos right now. Even if it is 3 o'clock in the morning or you're driving on your way to work. You're spending time listening. So the next question is, how long should it take to reprogram your mind if you have the right mentoring system? And always, most people go around trying to become an entrepreneur mentorless. But if you have the right mentor and the right system, 15 minutes a day, doing the right activities, and you'll start seeing the shift almost immediately. Almost immediately. Everybody that we've worked with one-on-one or through our Programming Your Mind for Success program, almost immediately the shift starts. But the real answer to the question, how long will it take me now to reprogram my mind, is you have to approach it with, I'm going to go through this 15-minute a day as long as it takes. As long as it takes, because we've had a lot of people that we've worked with over the years that had some real issues they had to work through and get past. A lot of people. And a lot of times people think they've worked through them and then they realize that they haven't. And that creates a whole nother set of issues. And I'm not a psychologist or anything like that. I just share in that program exactly what I did. The program I put myself on that absolutely changed everything for me. And I've not had or seen one person who followed the 15-minute a day program to a T who was not radically changed within 1 year. And when I say radical, I mean radical transformation. And unfortunately, you also see people that start experiencing this radical transformation. And for some people, it freaks them out. It really does. And they revert back to where they were comfortable, back to their comfort zone. But the reality is, and the sad part is, and some of you that are listening to this podcast need to hear me because I'm talking to you. Some of you know who you are, I have no doubt. But when you revert back, you're in a worse situation than when you started, because in your heart, now you know better. You know better. You aren't living in just oblivious, no structure around your thought or your emotions, or with no self-awareness. And after you know better, you may hope that other people accept your excuses, but the person staring you back in the mirror knows the truth. They know the truth. Maybe your spouse will accept your excuses. Maybe the people closest in your life accept your excuses. But you, if you've had that shift, if you've experienced life outside the whirlpool, even for only a few days, weeks, or months, you know the truth. And I have no doubt somebody listening to me needs to restart today the Programming Your Mind for Success program. If you're a member there, you have lifetime access. For those of you that don't understand or have no idea what I'm talking about, I apologize. You can learn more, ProgrammingYourMind.com. I only open it once a year. Usually it's in December. Well, every year it's in December. I haven't even looked at the calendar this year, honestly. But here's a great place to start. It's a book that's worth the read. It's by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. It's called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Great read. Okay, so phase 1, bite the bullet. Phase 2, understand your real why. Anybody that's heard me talk about any type of network marketing training, Step 1 is what? Step 1 is 50 days to practice with top 20, top 3. What's top 20, top 3? It's goals. Goals. Because every day we get up and we're either focused on the work or the why. And again, I don't know why it works the way it works, but I didn't have to listen to Earl Nightingale's Strangest Secrets too many times to accept it. I probably had to listen to it more times than I should have, but it is what it is. The Harvard research is what the Harvard research is. It is what it is. So, but the real why, the real reason for biting the bullet, this is what I don't really talk about it as much as I should, because I feel like most of you that are longtime listeners to this podcast are going to understand what I'm saying. But the real reason for the why, that you bite the bullet, is for the opportunity to develop new brain cell patterns. It's not to go to Hawaii, make $5,000 a month so you can leave your job and drive a brand new car and qualify for your company's car program. The real benefit, the number one benefit of network marketing, is the personal development required in order to maximize your full upside potential. It's the personal development. Number 2 is the friendships you develop. Number 3 is the lifestyle the income can provide. So really, it's about the personal development, the opportunity to develop new brain cell patterns, and that can only be developed with consistency, persistency. That's the only way new brain cell patterns can be developed. You have to take action. And, new brain cell patterns allow a person to rise up on the other side of the whirlpool, never to return to the programmed perceptions that they came from, and to sincerely be a different person. As human beings, we must act in accordance to our belief. Napoleon Hill told us what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. We must act in accordance to our own beliefs. Many of you remember what it was like when you first started. Getting your mindset right and becoming aware of your self-talk and your self-limiting beliefs and so on and so forth, and getting up every day and focusing on your reasons why you're doing what you're doing, and thinking about and visualizing walking out of that job that you don't like and picking up that brand new car at the dealership. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Many of you that are listening to this podcast, those are the things that create success, guys. It's not this new funnel. It's not the new product that the company's just introduced and now we're all going to get rich. We have to get beyond that as a profession and as an industry and as leaders. Success is living your life working towards worthy goals. Once you achieve those goals, you're no longer a success. I'll put the link to that video in the show notes. So I would ask you right now, where are you? Right now, where are you? Do you have the mindsets right now that will take you where you want to go? And understand that if other average people have developed the skill sets, then you can too. See, once you have the right mindsets, I can look at anything and it's like, you know what? If other average people with average intelligence have done it, I know I can do it. Now, whether I choose to do it or not may be something else. You know what? I'm never going to dunk a basketball like Michael Jordan. Athletic ability, I couldn't get that high off the ground. Wasn't going to happen. But because of the mindsets that have been developed based upon wisdom of the ages principles that were here before I was born and are accessible to anyone who chooses to internalize them, based upon that being part of me now, if I can look at any business model, I can look at anything of average people with average people have done it with no exceptional God-given talent. You know what? I can do it if I decide to. So step 2, phase 2 in this process we're talking about is understanding the real why. The real value is the opportunity to develop new brain cell patterns, to reprogram your mind. And then the third phase of this whole process, and it took me longer than it should have to really understand this, the third reason, the third phase, the third aspect, the natural progression of reprogramming your mind for success, biting the bullet, being persistent, working hard. The third phase, the value of this, the value of this is the opportunity to give it away. It's the opportunity to give it away. One of my very first mentors, Dr. Forshackley, said, "You keep that which you give away. You keep that which you give away." So phase 3 of this, biting the bullet, develop new brain cell patterns that will lead you to success in all aspects of life, is you have the opportunity to help other people. And network marketing is really the perfect business model for applying personal development principles, concepts, and ideas, because your ultimate success is in direct proportion to the number of leaders that are developed on your team. Zig told us you can have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And 90% of the network marketers, they quote that all the time, love it, but they don't, it's not in their heart. They don't get it. They've never experienced it. They just kind of going through the motions because they never bit the bullet. So the rub in network marketing, and it's one of the reasons so many people have so much disdain for it, especially business-minded people, is the network marketing is saturated with fakes, with day jobs that are trying to teach you how to do that which they've never done, or have no idea how they did it if they did it. No sequential systems, no systems at all, just a lot of grinding, BS, fake it till you make it, and hard work. So the 3 phases: bite the bullet, understand it's really about brain cell patterns, and then give it away. Share the knowledge, share the wisdom, give it away. So I would ask you, where are you? Where are you right now in understanding this whole concept, idea, philosophy?
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.